Welcome to Luxury Auto One. We're not just about the engines that roar and the lives of the elite. We're about raw power in all its forms. Whether it's on the road, the red carpet, or a breaking news broadcast watched by millions, we dig into the stories where influence collides with intensity. And today's story? It's a televised showdown that has the entire country talking. It all unfolded in 2025 on what started as a normal primetime political panel. CNN anchor Kaitlan Collins, known for her sharp questions and fearless journalism, found herself in the middle of a live-fire political exchange that no one could have predicted. And at the center of the storm stood none other than Senator John Kennedy. No, not that Kennedy. We're talking about Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, an outspoken, often controversial figure whose soundbites have made headlines more times than we can count. He's known for his southern drawl, his unfiltered takes, and his fierce defense of conservative values. But no one saw this coming. Not even his most devoted fans. The segment was meant to be a discussion on national security. Kaitlan Collins, hosting a special live panel on CNN, had brought together voices from across the political spectrum. Her guest list included former intelligence officials, current members of Congress, and Kennedy, who, despite his history of media clashes, agreed to appear live. It all seemed routine. Until it wasn't. Things started off cordial enough. Kaitlan opened with questions about cyber threats, border concerns, and recent intelligence leaks. Kennedy, for his part, delivered his usual brand of commentary, blunt, dismissive of the DC elite, and peppered with sarcasm. And then came the turning point. Kaitlan leaned forward and, with a controlled tone, asked, "Senator Kennedy, given your recent remarks about defunding certain intelligence programs, do you really believe you're qualified to speak on national security when you've never served in the military, never worked in intelligence, and consistently misrepresent basic facts on air?" The studio froze. It wasn't just a question. It was a challenge. A direct hit, live on air. Kennedy blinked, then gave a little half-smile. You could feel the tension. Viewers at home leaned in. Social media lit up. And then, Kennedy spoke. "Well, Kaitlan," he said, voice slow and even, "I may not have served in the military, but I've served in something called reality. And in reality, Americans are tired of watching experts with no common sense ruin their lives from a marble building." The panel went quiet. Kaitlan nodded slowly. "So you admit you're not qualified in this area?" Kennedy leaned in. "I'm qualified to tell the truth. And truth doesn't need a Pentagon badge or a clearance level. It needs guts." Boom. Twitter exploded. Hashtags like hashtag Kennedy versus Kaitlan, hashtag LiveTV battle, and hashtag Truth Needs Guts started trending within minutes. But he wasn't done. "I didn't come here to be told by a TV anchor that I'm unqualified," he said. "I came to speak for the Americans who are paying the price while DC experts play musical chairs with taxpayer money." Kaitlan, never one to back down, fired back. "Senator, I'm not attacking your voters. I'm pointing out that dangerous rhetoric without experience can cost lives." To which Kennedy replied, "Dangerous rhetoric is pretending to be neutral while asking loaded questions on national TV. You may not wear a party pin, Kaitlan, but don't act like folks can't see where your bread's buttered." It was a full-on showdown. And unlike other media debates, this one didn't end in a polite wrap-up. Kaitlan looked directly into the camera and said, "Well, Senator Kennedy has made his position clear. Experience is optional, and truth is subjective." Kennedy stood up from his chair on live television and said, "You keep running the narrative. I'll keep running for the people." Then he walked off the set. It was a moment that instantly became political legend. Commentators across the country went into overdrive. CNN issued a short statement the next morning saying, We stand by our journalistic integrity. Tough questions aren't personal, they're essential. Kennedy's office? They didn't release a statement. They didn't have to. Instead, his campaign team posted the entire clip with the caption, "He said what needed to be said. Experience doesn't mean obedience." That post hit 12 million views in 24 hours. News networks replayed the exchange. Reaction videos from both left-wing and right-wing YouTubers flooded the platform. Pundits debated whether Kaitlan's question was out of line, or if Kennedy was simply deflecting. Even celebrities chimed in. Comedian Bill Maher tweeted, "That was the most honest TV I've seen all year." Meanwhile, actress Patricia Arquette tweeted, "Dangerous. We need experienced voices on national security, not grandstanding." Luxury Auto One, of course, took a closer look. We spoke to insiders from both the journalism world and Capitol Hill. One media insider, under anonymity, said, "Kaitlan Collins knew what she was doing. She was told to make it real, and in the news world, real sometimes means provoking." A former Capitol Hill aide added, "Kennedy thrives in these moments. He knows his base doesn't care about credentials. They care about conviction. And walking off that set? That wasn't a meltdown. That was theater." But what does this mean for journalism? Are anchors going too far in the name of ratings? Or is it time politicians got grilled harder, not softer? This wasn't just a personality clash. It was a mirror. A reflection of what modern America has become, a place where truth is weaponized, where credentials are questioned, and where being called unqualified can either end your career or launch you into political stardom. Kennedy, love him or hate him,